Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Aviva. Today we've got a great class planned for you. I am really excited about the benefits that this is going to give you all. So, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever it is for you. We are going to balance our blood sugar together with some ancient Qigong exercises that are so good for us. So, in my research for this class, I found, I think, 3 or 4 studies, which are linked below, that literally studied the effects of Qigong on glucose intolerance and other things, type 2 diabetes. And basically, insulin resistance is the cause of so many forms of imbalances, aka disease, in our human body astro suit that we use to fly around this Babylon. So, today's class, we are going to actually do the Qigong moves that they did in the study that were studied to improve glucose intolerance or insulin intolerance, which is basically insulin resistance. Sorry, that's the correct term. What that means is that your body is not efficiently absorbing the glucose from your food, the glucose that feeds that ATP that gives us energy, right? So that means that the sugar stays in the bloodstream instead of going through the body and being processed. And the danger of sugar staying in the bloodstream is that you're not the insulin basically lowers that level, and so it's not working. Like, you just have too much blood sugar, which mosquitoes love, by the way. And so insulin sensitivity means that, okay, as soon as you get that insulin in you, your body responds. You know, it's like so many other things. It's like hitting your head against the wall is basically not being responsive towards learning all these different lessons in our lives. If we're not receptive towards love, no matter how much someone loves you, you're not going to feel loved. You're not going to feel lovable. Same with insulin resistance. No matter how much insulin your body puts out, your sugar level is just not affected. It's just being stubborn, you know? And so your pancreas gets stressed out, your adrenals get stressed out, your hormones, your liver, they all get stressed out. Qigong, of course, is good for any kind of stress. So it makes sense that literally doing any kind of Qigong will be good for insulin resistance. But today's class, we're going to do the stuff that was studied. So let's start by paying attention to our breath and our heartbeats. And once again, thank you so much for being here. People who just came to my channel, if you like it, please throughout this class do subscribe to my channel. Everything helps. So let's notice our breath. Let's get started. Let's notice our heartbeats. Get in touch with your energy. Your inner chi. Don't force the breath. Just notice it. Just be connected to it. Notice your heartbeat. Hey, Kevin. Thanks, Kevin. I actually did something to my hair. Notice that breath. Notice those heartbeats. I'm just really excited about class today. When we take charge of those sugar levels, we really do feel more clear, less cloudy. We just feel happier too. And I really do think insulin resistance is the cause of so many mental issues as well, because our whole mental system is completely affected by our hormonal system. If we can't feel our serotonin, receptors aren't grabbing onto that natural, you know, opioids that we make in our body, then we're not going to feel happy. So when you have insulin resistance, it's completely going to mess up the hormone balance that we have in our beautiful spacesuits. Thanks for the thumbs up. I really appreciate it. Notice those heartbeats. Notice those breaths. Notice where you feel relaxed. We are going to give ourselves a very good foot massage in class today. We are going to do the three forms, three types of Qigong practices that were studied in the insulin resistance studies that showed Qigong improved the insulin sensitivity, which is the Qi walking and the conventional walking, literally just walking in a relaxed state. And then we're going to do element Qigong, which is something we've never done in class before. And if you Google element Qigong practice, 5-element Qigong practice, we've talked about the elements and the 5 animals that we do with the elements, but we haven't done just the basic elements. So we're going to superly simplify today. And if you Google it, you'll find a lot of different forms. I put the 2 favorite links in the description below, and we're going to do the simpler of the 2. The more complicated one, I probably honestly need to wait until I have a studio where you can see my whole body, because it really goes down and up and all that stuff. So we're going to keep it real basic today. And whenever you're ready, state your intention for class today, why you're here. And why does that help? It helps to clarify where you're going to spend your chi money today. Because basically, when we harness all that chi in class today, we can use it for anything we want. Like when you get paid on payday, you can use it for anything you want. You can buy new clothes, you can buy extra food, or you might just need it to use to pay your bills, your basic survival. So, what do you need your chi for today? And please share your name if it's not the name of your um, handle, of your YouTube handle. So, my name is Aviva, and my intention is to be here for all of you today and to together explore our level of glucose tolerance and improve our insulin sensitivity, which means if we do eat sugar, then our body learns how to process it right away so it doesn't get stored in the blood, causing all kinds of issues. Now, of course, you can use your diet to help as well as exercise. So, literally, just doing Qigong after you eat, doing Qigong before you eat, walking right after you eat. What that does is it uses up the glucose right away so that it doesn't get stuck in the blood. And that's why it helps to improve your insulin sensitivity and heal your insulin resistance. Any other intentions out there today? Bring it on, bring it on. Tell me, tell me, tell me. Come on. Come on, come on. What's your intention today? Kevin says he has nothing. All right. It is what it is. Anyone else? Anyone else? Oh, thank you. That was really nice of you. All right, I'm gonna wait. It's gonna happen. There's branches. Their intent is to be groovy. I love it. We have a very groovy class planned today. I am telling you. All right. All right. Let's breathe in our intentions. Release anything in the way. Breathe in our intentions. Release resistance. Breathe in our intentions. Release anything you don't need. Breathe in your intentions. Release resistance. Breathe in your intentions. And release. Good job. All right, we're going to get started with some chi walking. We're going to break up the chi walking. We're going to do a little bit before the elements and a little bit afterwards. And you know what? I always rush in, but I'm just going to, before I rush in, I am going to put my Cash App link if you guys want to throw me some donations today. Everything is so helpful. I welcome that and I appreciate it so, so much. And thank you to my Patreons. I get monthly stipends from them. And this is my handle for that. And if you want to pay in another way, just write that in the comments and I will give you the solution. You could just buy some music and that would be amazing. All right. So jumping into 5 minutes of chi walking, clinically proven if done for 20 to 30 minutes a day to help insulin resistance. So how are we going to chi walk? Well, there's a few main ways we chi walk. One is by slowly lifting the wrists. It's basically like waving our hands through the clouds, except we gently bend the knees. We lift the right foot as we wave the hands up. We bring it down to the right. We bring the hands down and let them float to the right. And they float at waist level. And then when they're to the right, we lift the left foot up. And then we float those hands on over to the left, drifting nice and slowly. We are going to do this until it says 26:50 on the counting clock over there, which is going to change once I edit it. Basically going to do 5 minutes of this. And as you do it, just feel every cell of your body permeating with that chi. As if you're in this cloud of cotton candy love And it's so sweet, and you're just floating in it and appreciating that sugar. If you're just popping on, welcome. Let us know if you have an intention for class today, why you're here, what you need, because we will have time to do more than just focus on the insulin resistant proven practices to improve that. If you've got specific complaints, we can help that as well. We're starting with 5 minutes of Qi walking. One of the reasons why Qi walking is a wonderful practice to do every single day is that it cleanses that sea of blood. The blood that circulates within you is like your fuel of your car. If you have no fuel, you can't go anywhere. If your fuel is watered down, going places will be a rough ride. As you lift that foot and put it back down, see if you can widen it for the next step, as if you are a froggy with webbed feet. See if you can relax the wrists even more as you lift them up. And gently glide them. Ride them on a magic carpet to the left. You want to feel like your hands are almost being moved by an invisible force, which is your chi. You're on a magic carpet chi ride. We might do a little more than 5 minutes. We might do 10. When you get in the zone, time is just timeless. It might seem like a lot to do 5 minutes of the same thing and so boring, but I'm sure there are some activities you could think of that are not boring in 5 minutes that you would want to do for hours and hours and hours. And that's the kind of feeling that we're activating. Once we get in the zone, it's so blissful. That staying here is like lying down in a field of daisies and watching a sunset. Of course, eating excessive carbs requires your body to produce more insulin. And if you're insulin resistant, it just makes you more insulin resistant because it's harder for your body to process everything. So cutting down on sugar, maybe even eliminating refined sugar and high fructose corn syrup, in addition to doing these Qigong exercises every day, it's probably helpful. Please take my advice with a grain of salt. Actually, don't even use salt. Improving your consumption of vitamin C is, of course, going to be helpful for insulin resistance as well, because vitamin C is responsible for millions of processes in the body. So it helps to have that. It's like having money. It's like money is responsible for a lot of the things you do in your life, paying your rent, paying your power. So if you have more money, you're probably functioning slightly more fluidly than if you don't have enough money to pay your bills. That's like vitamin C. If your body has enough vitamin C, it can pay the bills in all the different areas of your body that are like, pay up, we need this for this process. If you don't have vitamin C, then you don't get power. Your lights are off. And that's just how it is, people. It's like if a plant doesn't have enough sunshine, it will not grow. If one of those volcanoes causes a big black dust in the sky and we don't have sun for 30 years, it might be an issue. That's kind of like cutting vitamin C out of your body. It like poisons you when you don't have enough vitamin C. All right, we're going to do 3 more minutes. We're doing our 10 minutes of chi walking, 10 minutes of, are we going to do a full 10 minutes of conventional walking? I don't know. That seems like a lot for an online class. And then we're going to do some element Qigong practicing, which I'm so excited about. Such a basic form. Such a simple form, which is so powerful to balance your elements and get out excess heat, excess anger, excess worry, just releasing that from the body, releasing the destructive chi. Mm. 2 more minutes. Symptoms of insulin resistance, which is not a good thing. You want insulin sensitivity. Being tired all the time. Having a big belly. Not being able to manage your weight. Acne. Skin tags. There's this one woman on YouTube that says if you become insulin sensitive and you heal your insulin resistance, then your skin tags will just go away. They'll just shrink on their own. And she explains that your body starts releasing this hormone, kind of like a growth hormone when you're insulin resistant. It like tries to do all these things to balance the glucose, right? It's like send in the troops. Like do something about this sugar. And so those excess hormones are like growth hormones and they cause things to just grow on you. Even a-holes. So if you allow yourself to be in the company of a-holes, you might have too much insulin resistance. But seriously, having these random things grow from your body are a sign that you are experiencing insulin resistance, which is an imbalance. And you want to get imbalanced. All right, that was 10 minutes of chi walking. Well done, my friends. Do that every day. We're just going to walk now, conventional walking. Feel your foot on the floor, and we're just walking back and forth. I'm not sure how long we're going to do this, but literally just get up, just walk around, preferably in nature. That would be great. If you're watching me on your phone, you can just take me outside, take me on a walk. Let's walk around nice and slow. Just walking uses up that glucose. And I believe thinking while you're walking and being relaxed and smiling, all that uses glucose too, I think, right? All the brain functioning. So the quicker you use the glucose that you eat, the less it's stored in the blood, causing clutter in your sacred house, which is not a sacred house anymore if there's clutter everywhere. Clutter is not conducive towards meditation. Just relax and walk. Relax and walk. We'll do this for 5 minutes. Unless it just feels so good, then we can go a little bit longer. Notice if there's any pain in your toes, and we might address this either in class later today or Monday. If you have pain in your toes, yes, it might be the shoes that you wear, but it might be a meridian, like an issue with an organ that's expressing itself on your toe because of that meridian there being clogged. So, like the spleen meridian is all about the big toe. There's other meridians that go there, but the spleen in particular, that is where you create the blood. So if there's an issue with the blood creating factory because it's hard to create good blood when there's excess sugar in it, it's kind of like, how do you wash your dishes if the water that you're using has like fossil fuel in it, right? That's like, how does your body make good blood if there's sugar everywhere, like syrup, polluting it? Then your body can't really do its job. So the spleen gets really stressed out. So if you have big toe pain, you know, and it's not a coincidence that a lot of people with the diabetes, they start to develop fungus on their toes. That's exactly a sign that, oh my gosh, my spleen is stressed out. There's too much sugar in my system. I'm insulin resistant, which, by the way, I should link it below. I should link some sugar, healing sugar videos below because there's this guy, oh, I forget his name. He's all about the ketogenic diet. Um, he says just putting 1 drop of iodine on that fungus on your toe. Now, don't take what I say and run with it. You know, ask your doctor. Ask, find at your own risk. And, do that over a course of a week, and it'll actually clear up the fungus. I don't know. There might be a specific kind of iodine, but I think that's fascinating. 1 more minute of walking. Are you enjoying this little walking? I think it's cool that conventional walking is considered a Qigong practice in these studies, and I guess in life. Dizziness and nausea and feeling cloudiness in your thoughts and confusion are also signs of insulin resistance issues. All right, y'all. Let's do one more minute of just walking. All right, good job, y'all. All right, we are going to get started. I think it's been interesting researching element Qigong practices because they all start with a different element. I really like this one video that talks about how the very first element created, supposedly, is wood, and then all the elements come from it. And that is also in line with the start of the new year. The wood element is the spring. So that's the new year. And then it goes into the seasons. So it starts with spring, which is wood, and then it goes into summer, which is fire, and then it goes into late summer, which is actually earth, and then it goes into fall, which is metal, and then it goes into winter, which is water. And then that is the edge. And then the wood starts it over again in the spring, fire in the summer, earth is late summer, fall is metal, winter is water. Now, late summer is considered a fifth season that we don't talk about, right? Well, in Chinese traditional medicine, traditional Chinese medicine, late summer is the point of like the center point of the year. It is the most balanced time of the year. And I don't know about you, but I thought it was just because it was my birthday, August 21st at the end of summer. I always feel the most powerful, the most centered, the most in my power in late summer, which is, according to TCM, traditional Chinese medicine, the earth element. It's when everything is in balance because it's when the harvest is producing the most. So you have all those vegetables, all those fruits coming to harvest, and you just feel so abundant, so powerful, so centered, so taken care of, so loved. That is what the earth element is about. The earth element is in the body, the spleen, and the stomach. So when it's in balance and you eat, everything feels so great. Everything feels so abundant. You eat, I mean, having a lot of food, it just feels so good and it doesn't bloat you, blah, 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 blah. So, in the form that we're going to do, we're not going to do the one that starts with the wood. We're going to do the one that starts with the earth and ends with the earth. Even though that's not the first season, it is the earth. And actually, this form, um, it does go in order of the seasons. It starts with earth and then metal, which is the fall, then water, which is winter, and then wood, which is spring, and then fire, which is summer, and then it returns to earth. So it is also, it has an order. Okay, so it starts with this, similar to what we do in our different forms that we do where we hold one hand in the other. The right hand is yin for women, and it's the left hand, which is yin for men. And so we want to hold the yang hand in the yin hand. And in this form, we are going to kind of make like a little basket, and there's going to be like, you can either hold the thumbs together or put the yin on top of the yang, whichever feels better. And you're going to hold that in your center point. You're going to bring out the foot shoulder width apart, hip length apart. And while you're in this position, you're going to take a nice deep bend, nice and slowly, and then gently come back up. Earth element Qigong practice. That's it. Super easy, just bending and then coming up, but go slowly. Now we're going to bring the hands up into the metal element as we bend. And we're going to bring it out and in. That's it. Letting go. Metal element out and in. Bending as the hands come in. And standing. Always keeping the knees slightly bent, not locking the knee. Just back and forth. Your feet are shoulder width apart. Coming down into this ready position again. Bend and open into the water element. Bend down and just bring your hands. You can gently touch your fingers or just almost touch them when you're down there. And up. It's like you're a spring bubbling out. Going into the spring wood element now. We go into this ready position here. Bend a little deeper, cross your heart. And then hand reach up and down. And then bring your left hand over your heart. I mean the right and then the left over that. And it's similar to the white crane spreading her wings, isn't it? But that's fire element usually. Well, I don't know about in that form. but the crane in general is fire. But this is wood. Don't be scared to bend even deeper if it's comfortable for you. Oops. This is like the third time I'm doing it today because I practiced it. I'm really starting to feel some serious thick energy. Nice and slow. And there's about 5 times altogether with each of them, but I'm doing it just a little bit more. We're almost done with all the elemental moves. There's just one more. Do you know which one it is? Do you remember? After spring, we go to all right, return to that ready position. Now we're going to bend and we're going to scoop up some fire. It's going to rise. Flip the hands, they're over the head. Now you're going to lift the heels. I know this can be hard to balance, so don't do it too high if it's too much. And then come down and scoop again. Relax the shoulders. Returning to that ready position here, we're going to do the earth elemental practice one more time. Bending deep, up and down, holding this. Hi, board 24. What's your name? We're doing the earth elemental stretch. Excellent, y'all. Good job. five. High five for the five elements. Five elemental practice. We're going to do that one more time. But first, we are going to just walk around a little bit for a minute or two. I actually don't think we're going to have time to do a full 10 more minutes of chi walking. So we'll just do 5 minutes. Always, always, we are in these avatars, we are in these space suits, these astro suits, traveling from the dimension where chi exists all the time into Babylon. And we are bringing the chi here safely, as much as we can, like sunlight to the earth. We're walking around. We are improving our ability to interact here by improving our insulin sensitivity, which will bring us more clarity, more energy, more breath, more health, more balance in every way. All right, let's do an acupressure point before we do the 5 more minutes of chi walking. This is a super powerful point. It's your heart master channel, aka your pericardium channel. And if you had a hard time balancing in that fire element stretch, if you have a hard time lifting up on your heels, just doing this acupressure point might help you because it brings you into that balance. It brings that fire into that balance, removing the excess heat from the heart, removing the sadness from the heart. And you can find it by curving down your fingers, and where that middle finger lands is that point, which is called the Lao Gong, I think. Lao Gong, yeah. And gently press it with the thumb. You can rest it like this. That's kind of nice. Breathe in, press, and release. Breathe out. If you have a fingernail, you might want to cut it or just be careful with it. Or maybe you can do something like use one of these and press that into the point, although it's not as effective. I think there are tools they make, like a little stone might be good. That's kind of good. Kind of. I'm using a little rock. Breathing in, pressing in, releasing, breathing out. All right, other side. Again, fingers down where the middle finger is, maybe a little bit over. You're lopsided like me, maybe from playing so much ukulele. And just press in and release. Breathing in, pressing in. Breathe out. I like doing 9 breaths. A minute now is going to be about 9 breaths, actually. Good job. So just pay attention when we do the fire stretch if you feel more balanced. We're going to do first a little bit more chi walking, lifting the wrists as if they're being lifted, letting them drop down like feathers, just falling to the ground. I will show you the fire elemental stretch of today. There are a lot of different ones. Lift the foot and then put the foot down and gently glide the hands to the right. We're going to do this for 5 minutes. Do you know what element the tiger is? Does anyone know the element of the tiger? By the way, I didn't chop up Monday's class, which was 12 different 5-minute routines that you can do, but I did um, clean up my 5-minute playlist. I had a playlist of 5 to 8 minute videos, maybe 10 minutes of nuggets that you all can do if you don't want to sit do a whole hour and a half class. And I called it Thoughtful Thursday. It was back in the day before I even went live. And so now I called that playlist 5 minutes of relaxation or something like that. And so in it, there is the tiger stretch. So you can always go to that playlist and find that tiger stretch if you just want to find it right off the bat. It's like 5 minute extra 5 minute relaxation. And I put it on my homepage. I put the playlist as the first playlist in the health and wellness playlist section on my channel. So you can find it there. We are chi walking now. Chi walking has been clinically studied to help with insulin resistance. I will put it in the comments before the class ends. Remind me if I forget. I will give you the link directly to both the playlist and the tiger stretch because I don't think we're going to have time to do it today. All right, about a minute and a half of some more chi walking. Oh, good, you found it. Good job. Share the link if you want for others. Oh. One more minute. Remember to relax your face, which means part your lips and have a little smile. I need to drink some water. Or I guess some coffee, which is right there. I have a 5-gallon thing of water in my car that I haven't brought in yet, and I just ran out of spring water. So I'm just gonna drink coffee and then I'll drink water after. Good job on the 5 more minutes of chi walking. If we have time to do 5 more minutes before we're up, then we will get the 20 minutes of the day. But I'm just demonstrating to you what you can do. And I think if you can do 5 minutes with me, you can do 20 to 30 minutes on your own. You don't need me for that. You can put on my music as you do it, and then you got me. Okay, so we're going to jump right back into the 5 elemental Qigong practice. I linked a couple different 5 elemental Qigong practices in the description of this video. They don't talk about it like I do. Some of them do. So anyway, we're going to jump right in with earth as our first element for this particular practice, even though wood is the very first element in creation. So they say, because that is springtime. And it's, easy to follow when you think about the seasons. That is the order that you actually practice the elements. So when you do the animals, if we were going to do the animals in the order, then we would start with the wood, which is deer. Then we go to the crane. Then we'd go to the monkey. Then we'd go to the tiger. And we would end with the bear. Okie dokie schmokies. We're going to start with the earth element. We are going to rest our yang hand in our yin hand, like that, or like that. Our yin hand is right for women, left for men. We're going to rest that on the lower dantian, nice and comfy there. Feet are shoulder width apart. We're going to take a nice bend. We are boulders of the earth. We're just going to bend up and down, nice and easy, never locking the knee. Nice breathing in and out. Sinking into the ground. It is a good, squat too. It does build the muscles of the glutes and the thighs. Earth, late summer, going into the fall, which is the metal, which is the tiger. But we're not going to do the tiger. We're going to do the metal. Easy metal stretch. Bending, lifting the hands up. And bringing them out. And in. Super simple metal stretch, metal element. Getting in touch with the metal element of your body, your ability to let go. It's the fall. Think of the falling leaves. Cutting things out of your life like a metal knife. Going into the winter, the water element. We return to that ready position, whatever you want to call it. And waves of water. Maybe gently touching the fingertips together or not. Wiggle habit. It's a bad habit. Thanks for the thumbs up. We are the water element right now. Water is going to be turning into the spring, the wood. Getting into the ready position for a moment, just kind of marinating in that water energy, feeling your courage grow and letting go of the fears. And crossing, lifting the right arm up, left down, wood element. And then crossing the left in front as you bend. And reach. Relaxing the face. Relaxing the toes. And returning down. And the last element, fire. So we are going to see if our balance got better after doing the Gong point on our hands, acupressure. We are going to bend deeper, bringing the fire. And then turning them by the chin. And then lifting the heels. Coming down. Are you more balanced? Coming back into the earth element. One hand in the other and just bend and straighten. Empowering that earth element, that abundant, that late summer energy, centered energy. Excellent job. Feel the balance of that stomach energy, releasing anxiety and worry, and feeling balance, ease, comfort, calmness. Any questions before we do our foot massage? Any comments? Anything you liked so far about class that you want to share about? Any aha moments? Any challenges? Any questions before we move on to the next practice? We've got about 15 more minutes of class left. So if you're just popping on, welcome. Please do hit the like button if you haven't yet, and hit that subscribe button. And stick around. And like I was telling board 24 earlier, whoever you are, I want to know your first name. There is a playlist I've been cleaning up called 5 minutes of relaxation exercises or something to that effect. And you can just pop on there and grab your 5 minutes of chi a day to improve your well-being every single day. The more you do it, the better you'll feel. Well, you might feel a little worse at first if you've got emotional stuff coming out of you, but that's okay, because that's like how you feel when you pick up a carpet and you actually look at all the dust that's under it. But once you see it, you might feel bad, but then you know how to take that vacuum cleaner and vacuum it all up, and then boom, you feel so much better. On to the foot massage. Leg massage. We're going to hit some gallbladder points on the leg and some heart master points again, I think. So what we're going to do is we're going to start by rotating each toe a few times in each direction. And we are going to pull the toe away from your foot. Now, if you were in Monday's class, which was 12 different nugget chunks of chi, and there was a specific 5-minute chunk that you really liked, let me know. And that'll be the first one that I put out there. I will slice it up for you. Rotate the toe a few times in each direction. And pull. And rotate the whole ankle now in both directions. Pull the toes back and rub the bottom of the feet. And then rub between your toes in this little area, in each area. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and hit that liver 3-point. It's called the Great Rushing. It's for the jaw, it's for facial paralysis, stress, stagnant chi, cramps, insomnia, headaches, and joint pain. It's between the big toe and the one right next to it. And it's about 2 fingers above that point there in that center. And you're going to just press, breathe in, and release. Breathe out. We'll do that 5 times. All right. Now we're just going to find a point on your foot that feels tense, and you're just going to hold that for 20 seconds. Okay, good job. Now we're going to just tap up and down and brush. Okay. So today we're going to find a point on the outside of the leg under the knee. Um, just like a couple of fingers below, between those two bones there. And that helps with digestion. And we're going to press, breathe in, and release. Press and release. And press. Release. It helps with gas, digestion, nausea, appetite issues. Release. Press. Release. And one more time. Press. Stop. Okay. And we're going to go to the other side, the shady side of the mountain. And we're going to find a point. Again, a couple of fingers below the knee. This is the one we usually do in class. It is good for varicose veins, water retention, cramps, edema, knee pain, leg pain. Press in for 20 seconds. Okay. And we're going to end with a point above the knee. 4 or 5 fingers above. And you're going to hold that point. That helps to expel the wind in your body. We're going to hold that for 20 seconds. And it dissipates cold energy. So if you get cold easily, doing this point should help you. It's connected to the liver. It's the gallbladder. And yeah, the liver and with the gallbladder, their pair helps to regulate your temperature. Okay, good. We're going to go to the other foot. Just brush that. Brush that. Do a little brush up the back of the thigh and then around down the inner and the outer. Let's get that. meridians nice and activated, warmed up. All of that helps with sugar regulation, insulin sensitivity, opening up all these meridians. Good jobby wobbies. Give yourself a little bit more of a foot massage. All right, other foot. We're going over, but that's okay. I started late, so we've really got 6 more minutes. All right, rotate each toe a few times in each direction and pull the toe away from the foot. Okay. And rotate the whole ankle in each direction. Bring the toes back and rub the bottom of the feet. We're going to go to the great rushing, which is about 2 fingers up from where the big and the one next to it, index toe, whatever meet. So it's about right there. And you can kind of feel like it's like 2 bones are there, and then there's like an indenture. Gently press that breathing in and release breathing out. Don't press too hard. It helps to relieve stagnant chi, so it helps your chi to flow. Helps with stress, general stress, helps with cramp pain, helps with insomnia, headaches, joint pain, jaw pain, facial paralysis. It's your liver meridian. So it helps you sleep. Good. And now just find a point on your foot anywhere. Hold that for 20 seconds. People think they just have their pain in their foot from, like, they might have stepped on something funny or worn the wrong shoes, but a lot of times, like, one of your toes hurts because it's the meridian that is compromised and is not flowing. And acupuncture and acupressure can sometimes really help that. Mm. Let's do one more point on the foot. Just find another one. Hold it for 20 seconds. Two more seconds. Release. Good. All right. Tap up and down. We are going to go to the outside of the leg, right below the knee, about 2 fingers below. Um, Hold that. Breathe in and release. And that's good for gas, bloating, stomach pain, nausea, appetite issues. And then on the inside of the leg, a couple of fingers below the knee. Hold that for 20 seconds. Shady side of the mountain. Good for varicose veins, water retention, edema, cramps, knee pain, leg pain. Okay. And we'll do one more point above the knee, a few finger length above on the outside, just running down that middle line. Gallbladder meridian. Holding that for 20 seconds. Helps to expel wind from the body, burping issues, gas issues. Dissipates the cold energy. So if you get cold easily, this helps with that. Good job, everyone. Tap, 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 tap. And brush. Brush out, brush out, brush out. And one more time. All right, let's do our little under and then through the inside and outside. Under the back of the thigh and through. Under. Honoring that leg. It carries you around so much. It deserves so much love. Smile on your legs. Good job, you all. Let's do a quick kidney rub here. And then follow the hands down the back of the legs and through the inside. And again. And one more time. Good job. Great class today, y'all. Hope you liked it as much as me. If you want to throw me a tip, that would be amazing. I like to eat. Every little thing helps, even $1. My Cash App is up there. I think everything is listed in the description below. You can come back and give if you are in the mood. We're going to close class here. Feet shoulder width apart, hands to the heart. Think about things you're grateful for, and thank all the lineage holders of this knowledge, traditional Chinese medicine. Thanking all the teachers who share this knowledge. Fill your hearts with gratitude and compassion and spread this out to all who surround you. And yeah, any other questions or comments before I get on to changing the cabin air filter of my car, which is long overdue? Jabri, yeah, he's been working. He's got gigs, but he always checks back in later, so you can say hi to him. I think it takes 24 hours though for the live chat to be live again or be visible again. Do you feel more clear-headed after this? Do you feel less nauseous or less dizzy if you were dizzy before class? Do you feel more calm? Do you feel stronger? Let me know in the comments below. And please invite your friend to the next class Monday at 11:30 a.m. And if you have any requests for class or a repeat of some of these exercises, do let me know. Usually on Mondays, we do the Wu Qigong. My master, Grandmaster Fu, that is the main routine that he taught, which is fabulous. And then Wednesdays, we usually change it up. So once again, give yourselves a tap on the back. Give your head a back rub to, help with the EMFs that are going on. And be sure to email me if you have any questions, if you want to set up a personal consultation for Bach flower essences or matrix therapy, I am here for you. Or if you want a personal Zoom Qigong class, I'm here for you. It's hard to motivate sometimes to do Qigong on your own. So if you need a coach, hit me up. And have a fabulous day. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you Monday at 11:30. And I'm so excited. We are getting up to above 2,100 subscribers now, and if we hit 2,500, I am going live with a 1-hour musical concert. So, thank you for helping me with that. I will see you next time, beautiful people.